Hello, Global Stars. So today we are on the 7, and on the 7, what are we going to be doing? We are going to be seeing project number 14, which is to be able to design a simple calculator using Python programming. So, we are on a marathon of 25 Python projects, along with the source code, because I'm giving you the projects and I'm also giving you the source code so that you can be able to practice and build your skills, to build your dev skills, and also to be able to boost your resume, to be able to find your to learn, in order for you to land that dream job of yours. Is it possible? Yes, this is very, very possible. And I'm here to help you, to hold you to go. So we are going to be designing a calculator today. As you can see, this is the GUI of that particular calculator, the graphical user interface. And I'm going to be explaining to you to show you how this calculator works and to see everything function as in real life. And also now we are going to now design it ourselves together. You're going to do it together. I'm going to hold your hand for us to be able to design the same calculator. Okay. So guys, let's try to understand what this is all about. So guys, this is our calculator in front of us. So the calculator should be able to perform this is the GUI of it. It should be able to perform all the various functions. For example, if I say I want to say 7, when you click on you hold your mouse, when you click on a particular calculator, just like using your hand, what should happen is that it should be able to appear inside here. This is the view by where we are going to be seeing every operation that is taking place. So let's say 7 times, let's say 7 multiplied by 2. Yeah. What are we having? Because the equal sign is going to give us the output as 14. We know that, right? You can do whatever the operation you want to do then. So let's just clear. You want to clear the screen. We just click. We're going to clear it. Now let's go. Let's try to say 2.5. So 2.5 plus 3 multiplied by 5 equals to what? So you can see 2.5 plus 3. So we want to take the bottom mass. We're going to take 3. We're going to take what? 3 times 5 first. 3 times 5 is 15. 15 plus 2.5 is going to give us 17.5. This is how we work mathematically. Okay, so you see, it doesn't give us the output. We can do any other operation. For example, I'm just going to clear for us. We can do any other operation. For example, let's say you can take as multiple operation as you want to do. Let's say 12. 12 divided by 3 times 8 minus 4 divided by 2. Let's try to get the output. So we take equal to, it's going to give us 30, because that is what it's going to give us. If you look through broad mass, that is the output is correct. So 3 times 8 is going to give us 24. So you see, you follow both maths for us to be able to go with it. You follow the same step, everything. We're going to multiply everything and we're going to have an output, which is very beautiful, right? So therefore means you can be able to create your own calculator. You can do whatever, you can perform whatever operation you want to perform here using the various operations that we're having here. You can be able to, so you see, it's a very interactive thing. And when you're done with everything, you're done, like working with the calculator, you want to close, you just need to click on OK. Because once you click on OK, once you just click on this OK, what happens? It is going to disappear. The GI is going to disappear from the screen. Then if you want it again, you can still launch it back. Okay. So guys, you see how beautiful it is, right? So this is the calculator. And if in case you want to work, if in case you want to work with what? With exponent. If I just say 2, if you want to get exponent, press the multiplication symbol. If you press it twice, it's going to take it as exponent. So if I say 2 exponent of 4 equal to is going to give us, which is 16. We know very well, right? 2 to the power of 4 is going to give us 16, means 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So it's going to give us 16. So you see this, all the things, it can perform all these operations. So now, you now know how you can be able to, these projects help us to be able to think out of the box, to see how you can see something in real life and you want to produce the same thing. That is what is called programming. You design. That is what is called development. You develop something in what you want to see, how you want it to be. So there are changes you can do here. You can decide to take whatever I'm going to teach, and you can decide to modify the code to add some other functionalities. It's good and fine for you to do that. Okay. You can decide to also do what you want to maybe increase the size of the box, everything. There's no problem. All the dimension, it depends on you. So this is just my dimension that I gave. And I'm going to show you how we did it and how you can be able to do all these things. So guys, let's try to understand what this is all about. And then we design it step by step to finish. Okay. So now that we are done with it, for us to be able to go to design, we just click on OK, automatically see it goes. So that's it. Let's try to continue. So in this day 7, the Python project to complete, as we already saw, is a simple calculator. So now, the first thing we need to know about what the expectation in order for us to dive into start creating that particular project. So we know very well it's a calculator. So in this Python project, we should create a GUI, a graphical user interface calculator, using only one single library. So we are going to be using only one single library here, which is a Tkinter library. So it is what? It is a basic Python project that is created using what? The basics of Python TK toolkit, the Tkinter library. So if you're a beginner and you're starting to learn about the graphical user interface in Python, then this project is just for you. It is just for you. Therefore, it is the best for you to start with. Okay. So the project should create an interactive multiple operations such as what we saw, like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, exponent, decimal notation, and so forth. You know. So the objective here is for us to develop an interactive calculator in Python language. Meaning you're using the Python programming language to be able to do that, and the only requisite prerequisite that we need here is that you need to do what you need to know the basic Tkinter widget that I told you about user-defined functions that we saw. User-defined, what are user-defined functions? You need to know how to create your own functions, right? The user-defined functions, about some predefined functions also, and string formation, how to use the strings, how all these things to form them, right? That is all. So guys, before we jump into our this in the Visual Studio Code to start developing this particular calculator, to start creating everything, the modules to build everything together. Guys, if you're here for the very first time, you're stumbling to this channel, please click on the subscribe button that is there below as the video is playing. Just click the subscribe button to subscribe to the channel. And when you click, remember to click the bell icon that is there, and then you take all. Why are you doing that? So that whenever we are uploading new videos, other projects, because we're in the 25 marathon projects, you should be able to get notified, okay, so I don't get missed out. And then guys, click on the like button whenever you're watching the video. It costs you nothing to just click the like button, because when you click the like button, it also helps YouTube, the algorithm, to be able to push the videos to other regions, to other places, so that people can see this video and also benefit from it just as you're benefiting from. Okay, and then you can share with others. You can click the share button to share with others. Share on all your social platforms. Share with your friends, your families. You can share with your classmates. And thank you so much. And also to those who have been rocking with us from day one, to my returning subscribers, guys, you're just the best. Global stars, you are the best, guys. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for all the likes, the comments you're keeping, for everything, guys. Thank you. Let's try to build this project. Structure of this particular program, we have broken it down into 5 sections for easy understanding. Okay, so the first thing is that we have to make sure that all the necessary libraries are imported. You get it? The second thing we are going to be seeing is that we are going to be defining a master window and creating the top portion of that calculator. That is the second thing we are going to be doing. And the third thing we are going to be doing is defining the functions of adding text and performing the calculations. Don't worry about this. I'm just giving you, but I'm going to be explaining it also when we reach each step. Okay. And then the fourth thing we are going to be doing is creating and placing the numbers, operators, equal signs, all clear and clear buttons. We are going to be seeing that. And then the fifth thing, the last thing we are going to do is creating our final OK button. Then for us to be able to understand how all these things. So we are going to take a deeper look now to understand how they are going to work. The step. So the first thing we are going to be seeing is to import all the necessary libraries. And the only library we have here is what the Tkinter library. So we're importing the modules here from Tkinter, import. So we're taking step, go on everything from there. So from it, we are importing what? We are getting a message box. Now we are importing from it, right? That is what we are taking. So the first step is completed. Now, the second step is defining a master window and creating the top portion of your calculator. So don't worry about it. I'm going to be explaining everything for you to see. But for that, let me show you what. So guys, as I told you that the code is in the description below, click the description below. You see the link to the code to download the code. But now, when you see this, I've just highlighted the part that we're not using for the. I want to show you how this thing starts from the beginning to the end. So anything I don't need from the beginning, I'm going to start for us now. The first part is what? Define. The first part we have done is what? The necessary libraries. We have imported these libraries. These are the libraries we have imported. good. We have imported a library. So anything you see with the hash, the asterisk symbol, know that it is something that it is not necessary, it's not important for the moment. What we are going to be doing is how to create that GUI, the master frame, the GUI frame, the master frame. So if you see, remember when you see anything with a hashtag with this symbol, you need to understand that word. This is not applicable. So this is what we are supposed to work with. That is what I've just commented. This is a comment, a single line comment in Python. So I've commented every other thing, and the only thing I've left is this, because this is the code that we are supposed to do to go to define that, to define the master frame. You get it, and updating the root. So these are the only two things that are supposed to be up here. So now, what is it that we are doing here? What is it that we want to do? We want to be able to do what? We want to be able to define this particular master frame for us to see. So first, we need to create what? A proper GUI. You get it? Window for Python calculator project. So to do that, the things we need to do when we are defining the various things that we have to work with it for us to be able to get whatever we want to get. So if I run this particular code, you get it, you see the root we are giving, we are passing the ticket, pass the root, the title. So this is the title that is going to appear on that particular master frame. Just the title of the frame we are going to get, which is called global calculator. And then we are giving the geometry of it. The geometry I've specified it. Depending on you what you want to give there, you get it. So we are resizable. So we have the configure it, the background I'm giving for it, for me to have the background of it. The background I'm given is light. This is light cyan 2. That's the background I'm given for this. So if I run this particular code now, I'm running just this part of the GUI that we're creating the frame with the last part behind down that we saw. So if I run this, you see this is the background. This is upgraded. You see we are having the title, which is here called global calculator, because I kept it small, called global calculator. And how did I give this part also here? Remember I said, okay, with this, let me just close this. This is the top frame that we have just created. This is the part we have just opened here. Now let's look at something very beautiful. So now let me try to explain what I've just given here. Let me try to explain it. So now creating this GUI, now the TK class, this TK class here is to what? Is used to define the window. So we are using this to define the window. You get it? That is what we are doing. And then the next thing we are having is the title method. This title method here, the title method we are having here, this title method, what is it all about? So the title method is used to give the title of the object of the TK class, of this TK class. So in order for us to give the object of the TK class, we have to use what? We have to give use what? The title method. And then the next thing we are having is the geometry. The geometry, and this name is familiar for those of us that did math. So the mathematics. So the geometry method defines the height. It defines the height, rise, and the width dimension of the window in pixel. So I'm saying that what I'm saying, I want the height and the width. So I'm giving it is defining the height and the width in pixels. So 250 by 500. So depending on you, if you want to change it, you can change it, modify it the way you want. That is your choice. You get it? Anything depends on your choice. You can take the code, take the project, modify the way you want to modify, whatever you want to add, subtract. It is for you to learn. You're still learning and you're building things. Okay. So that is what this is. That is what this is all about. And then the next thing we are having here that we are going to be seeing, because normally we are going to be seeing is to understand what the resizable. That's the next thing we are going to be seeing is this resizable. And with this resizable method, forbids the user from being able to resize the Python calculator window. You get it? So the arguments are taken in the form of what? The height and the width. That is how they are taken, and the defaults are true. And the user can resize the window. You get it? So if you put false or zero, if you put false or zero as argument, what happened? You can forbid it. So it has been forbidding. So if you want to be able to allow the users to resize it, then you can change this. You can change this. When you put zero, it means it's zero or false means it's forbidding. You can be able to put it to be true for you to allow the users to be able to resize the window. So it's just like for you, you want to tell that every user, if you buy my calculator or you get my calculator, you can just resize it at any time to give any shape you want. In real life, that doesn't work, right? It doesn't work like that in real life. But there are always some exceptions that we can give there, right? So the next thing we are having here is this configure, for us to be able to configure. What is this configure method? The configure method here, it is used to do what? This method is used to configure some properties of the window. So here we have to use what? We have to use it to change the background color of the Python calculator program window using the background attribute. You get it? That is why we are having this background attribute. The attribute here is this. This is the background attribute, isn't it? Which is background. So because we have an attribute we equal to, then this is the value we are giving to that particular attribute. So you can change the color if you don't want it. Like for us, like as I ran this code, you see, when we look at the color we are having here, our color is what? Is the this and the light cyan. So you can decide to change it to put another color, is your choice. So this is the main frame, because you have to design the main frame and give also what the title of it to be able to understand. Whatever you're given there is your choice. You just need to modify it, okay? That's just how it goes. So whatever you want to do, how you want to fix it, that is how you want to go with it. It's your choice. Let me just close that. Then, as I said, we look at the end of it, the end of the program that I kept. There are some things I left, the update and the main loop. So updating the root, I said the update and the main root. This update and the main root methods are written at the end of any Python calculator GUI. It's always at the end, guys. You can never find it anywhere on top, okay? At the Python GUI, whenever you're working with the GUI, we write this update and the main loop at the end. And what is it, So because in the update method as a while loop, that stops the window from vanishing after a millisecond. Can you get it? So that is why when we run this thing, you see the window is going to be there, because if we don't do that, the window is going to disappear. After a millisecond, you see it's going to just disappear. So to avoid it from disappearing, so it has to stay there. Okay, that is the purpose for that. So this dot update, that is the purpose of the dot update. Well, it is there in this particular project. So to stop the window from vanishing after using a millisecond. And the main loop holds the execution of your Python code completely. It holds the execution of the Python code completely. So you will always be having this. You get it? So without this, your window will not show. So be sure to always write these two lines. You get it? So if you look in even in the previous project that we finished, the library management project, the 6 project, that was project 13. It was a library management project, and that was a very huge project. It's like a final year project, intermediate project. So what happened there, you will find that because we're using the GUI, so you'll be able to find this there. So whenever we're working with this Python GUI, we always put these two things at the end of the particular project, whatever your code you have designed. You're going to be able to put this there to go to work with it. But that is what we want to work to. We have things that we are supposed to do there. Okay. Exactly. Let's move forward. So the next thing we are having here is a string var class. With this string variable. So we have the string var variable. This string var class of the Tkinter library is used to manipulate the text. That is what it is used to do. It's used to what? To manipulate the text in a library. So the entry or the this thing or the on point menu, you get it widget. That's why it says entry the string var, which is string var root that we are having here. What is it that it is doing? You get it? So it is an alternative. It is an alternative to the string class exclusively for the GUI. You get it for our GUI. That is what. So while looking at it, you see defining the top of it, you can see that the label. Here we have the label widget that is used of the Tkinter is used to display the static text, isn't it? That we are going to be seeing, as I just said, in this GUI window. So we have the master attribute that we are going to be having. You see, we understand all these things. And then also we are going to be seeing the font. If you look inside, you're going to see the font. The font here is going to give us what? You tell us the fonts that we want to use, to specify what fonts. And then we have the font size. You see what that font is going to come, even with the size, that we are going to see even the style. You get it? The size and the style. You get it? This is the size. We are having the style that we are choosing to be able to write. So each of them, you see, they are having that label. This is you are having it, the font style, the font size, what we are having inside. That is what we are having for us to be able to see how this thing goes. You get it? Then we have also we have the BG attribute. You see this BG attribute, which is just for what? The attribute for background, isn't it? It is used to give the background color of the label in the Python calculator that we are working. That is why we see we are giving it as a light cyan that we are having here. And then we are putting that place for us to be able to know the position and how we want to put it, give it there to understand all these things. So, excuse. Then we have the entry. You see, we have the next thing we are having here is the entry widget that we are having here. This entry widget that we are having here. What is it going to be used for? This entry widget that we are having in this place for the Tkinter is the alternative of the input function for our GUI. the alternative for input function for GUI. You get it? Now we are going to be seeing here. So it is used to enter some text by the user as an input in the window. So you see, that is why I say, you see justify right, whatever we are giving text variables entry stuff, so we are giving the width, everything. That is what we are using it for. And we specify everything in that format. Okay. That is how we work with this. For us to go to specify in this particular format. Okay, let's continue. So that is why we see we have the master. See the master and the font attribute, you know, is the same as the label attribute. Then we have what the justify attribute. That is a justify attribute. You justify just as you're working, you give justify is going to decide where the text will start appearing from. And then we have also what we have the width attribute. The width attribute is going to also give us what? It's going to use to specify the width of the widget. We set specific, you know, the specific location where we want to set it. You get to the width attribute on that particular location. You see the specific location specification that we are given there. Then we have the state attribute. The state attribute that we are having inside this state attribute is going to, what is the function of this state attribute? It is used to decide whether or not the user can edit the widget, you know, the widget, you know, or not. It's going to be able to edit that widget or not. So whether they can change the text or not. So the three stages of it, you know, they are just normal, default, and then default or random, or you can say edited not allowed, which is disabled, which is what the cursor does not appear at all. You get it? So in this situation, we are taking the disabled. That is what we are taking there. And then we also have what, there's another thing we have here, which is a text variable entry. This text variable that is holding that what entry variable is an attribute that is used to assign the text to a string var variable value. You get it? That is what it is there to hold for us to be able to get, which is very, very beautiful, isn't it? And then we are having also what the place method that we are having at the end of it. We have the place method. This place method in this step, it is one of the what the Tectonic Geometry Manager method. So this method is used to place the widget on the window as a point on what? On the Cartesian plane. So anything we are doing here, I'm explaining all these things because that is why we are using these things, and that is the purpose. That's the purpose of it. You get it? So you get the X and the Y. This X and the Y attributes, the X and the Y attribute, what are they used for? These X and Y attributes are used to specify the horizontal and the vertical offset of the widget, because you know very well the Cartesian plane, we have the X and Y axis, the horizontal and the vertical axis. So everything, guys, it works. That is just what we are just doing. So I hope it is clear. Hope it is clear. I'm going to keep explaining. And guys, please be in the attitude to always watch the full video before going to download the code. Get me? Because it gives you a lot of understanding and a lot of guide to understand what you're having. Before going to take the code to start running on it, try to watch the full video, because at the end is very interesting. And then try to practice alongside to see how you can help yourself. Don't just copy and paste. Guys, and if you're watching till now, you haven't liked this video, what are you still waiting for, guys? Click the like button, you know, just click that like button, the thumbs up. Now, what is the next thing that we are going to be doing? So with this now, as we have seen that now that we can be able to take, let's run now and see how far our frame is looking. Let's run on this now. We're going to see how it is looking now. Let's see. So you see now we are now having this, the input button. We are now seeing now how we can be able to get, you see, all this now we are having, we have already designed this from here. Everything that we've got from this string var, everything as I've explained. So this is how our frame is looking now, which is beautiful. Now let's continue to keep doing for the calculator. So we have done designing this part. So let's try to move on and see how we can work and see how it goes. So now we're in the fourth part where we are going to be defining all the listen the numbers. We're going to find all the operators and everything to set the buttons so that we are going to work with this. And one thing we should understand is that now that we have what? We have set the functions. You know, we already set the function that was in the second stage. We set the functions that we needed. So we also, all the top portion is already ready. Everything about our listing is ready as we said it. And we did everything the user, I ran it and you saw it. So the next thing we are going to be seeing now is how to be able to understand how we can put these buttons, everything with the numbers, everything. And the same way we are going to work with it. So in this, the same way we have the root that's the master, the width, the font, you know, the everything, the attribute, the text attribute, the BG color attribute is the same thing that we had. It's just the same as we had we had also with the entry above in the other one, and the string var, and also with the labels. It's the same thing, not different. The only thing that is different there that I'm going to explain is this command. The command attribute that is different. That is the one I'm going to explain it also inside. So here, what is this height? This height here attribute is used to do what? To define what? The height attribute is used to define what the height of the particular button, isn't it? And then also now this thing I'm going to also explain. We know about the text, the font. I will explain those things. Even the BG color is giving the colors of the buttons. Now coming about this lambda, this command attribute. The command attribute here is used to assign the command to the button in the Python calculator. So it is generally what? It is generally a function that takes an argument, but to assign a function with an argument. You get it? So you need to use what? The keyword that is a lambda. This lambda is a keyword. If without this thing is not going to work. So this is a keyword that is used. We use it as a code. We use it in the code above. We are going to work with it. From it, we are going to give. So you see, the add text is going to be adding that based on the particular numbers that we have given there on that particular. So the formula to get the square shape. And as I told you, okay, now coming here, there's also another thing to show you here up here. This is it. We want to give multi-line in, you want to declare multi-line in Python, you have to use a triple quotes. So these triple quotes now, so the dimension of the buttons now, I'm saying the height, all my buttons, the height is 1, the width is 3, or the formula for you to be able to what to set the height and the width means that what if you have the height is 1, the width, you can say what the width is 2 times the height plus 1, or height times 2 plus 1 means the height is 1 times 2 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3. It gives us the same thing. And then the distance between the buttons in rows, I've given 60. In colors, I've given that. And then the font size I've given for the button is 9. That is how I've already defined all of this. So with that said, it leaves us now to go to the last part of it. We are now leading now to the last. If we run this code now, you're going to see. You're going to say, look, this is it. Our buttons are there. Everything is working properly because we already defined the functions. Remember, we defined the functions already. We declared the function, everything. So if I want to, the calculator now is working very fine. It's working very fine now. You see, you're going to get your output. It's working very fine. Everything is okay. But the last thing we need now is the OK button. So that we go to get what there. To get what is the OK button going to do? I'm going to show you guys. Don't worry. To explain, to understand the OK button. So let's go back now to get our OK button. I'm just going to unmute I'm just going to open this particular code now. So now if you look here, we are having what? The OK button. That's the last thing we are having here to work with is this OK button. Now with this OK button, what is it? So now we have already done, we've already arranged everything, the calculator, everything is up and running, it's working because the functions we defined. So we have almost finished the calculator program. Just one more thing that we need to do, and this is just the OK button. So the only new thing in this step, because everything about this step, the row, the height, everything specified is still the same like the other buttons. Nothing changed. But the only new thing about this step is what? Is this. Is this destroy method. Is the destroy method. So the destroy method now, what happened now here is what? This destroy method now, which is used for, we use this function that is used to break all the loops and destroy the window, that it is associated with. Meaning that if I run this now, look at what happened. If I run this program now for us to get that GUI, and I look, it has changed. Now we have this OK button here. Means when you have done with all your work here, let me just put everything. This is our calculator. So the calculators we are having here, once you've done all the calculations, let's say 12 divided by 3 multiply 6 minus 6 times 3 divided by 2 equal to, we're going to get the output. This is equals to 5. So now once you're done doing all your calculations, maybe you don't want to see, if you minimize it, you're going to find it on your screen here. This is it here. You can get it on your taskbar. But if you're done or you want to destroy it, you want to go to get away with it, so the loop, you're going to break all the loop and destroy the window as it is. The window should not be existing again unless you run it again, you open it again. Just click on this OK. Once you click on OK, it's gone. So if you need it again, means that we need it now, we need to open it back again, right? So that is it, guys. So we have come to the end of this. So you have seen everything as we have built the calculator, and you can perform all the necessary functions. Whatever the functions you want to perform, you can perform on it. Anything you want to do, it is going to give also 2.5 times 3. If you get it, you're going to give it, you say take OK, it's going to close it out. But if I want to take equal sign, I'll just do the same thing again. So 2.5 can be 2.5 or anything. Let's say 2.5 plus 4.5. So it's going to give us what? It's going to give us 7, which is it, which is correct, right? 7.0, which is 7. So when you're done with everything you're done, you click it out. So guys, that is it for this calculator program. So you see, it's a very beautiful project, right? The project is very, very beautiful. Now, guys, if you have reached up to this end of this project and you haven't liked this video, what are you waiting for? Just click the like button, click the thumbs up, and you're going to like this video. And then also, if also you're watching, you have not subscribed, please don't forget to subscribe. When you subscribe, you hit the notification bell. Now, for those of you who are like worried, like today you're stumbling on, this is a this day 7 and we're on project 14. Now you're wondering, like, how can I get project 1, 2, 3 to 13? Don't worry, I got you guys. Look at the end screen as I'm talking to you now. If you look at your screen, you're going to see now the playlist that is going to appear on the screen. The playlist of Python programming, say Python projects for beginners to advanced is going to appear. The Python project, just click on it. You're going to see the playlist for all the projects and you're going to watch them. And as I said, the source code of each project is in the description box. So when you open each project, you look at the description, you're going to see a link that's going to lead you to my GitHub account to be able to download the project for free. You get it? And then also, if you are somebody who wants to like go to learn Python, you're stumbling on this and you're facing a little bit of, you're not understanding what does this one means, why are we using this sign here. Don't worry, I have the Python full course. If you look also on this screen, you're going to see the Python full course for beginners to advanced. For beginners, you click there, you're going to see all the rundown of the entire Python course. You can start watching and practicing and understanding the Python. So guys, like the video, subscribe, comment in the comment section below, and share with others. Share on all your social platform. Thank you guys, and see you in the next class where we are going to be seeing that's day 8, and we're going to be seeing the project number 15. Thank you. Bye bye.